Greetings, welcome. Thank you for joining me. You know, sometimes we get these random thoughts, and I had this thought when I was looking out of my window. We have this beautiful big tree in the backyard, and I was thinking, why, when you see some trees that are cut down to a stump, why don't the trees grow back? I mean, the roots are all there, and it's just the branches and the leaves that aren't there. So why wouldn't the roots just grow more branches and leaves? And where do you go when you don't know the answer to something? Yes, the internet, and yes, Google had a super quick response. And the answer is because, and maybe you already know this, but for some reason I didn't. The answer is because the leaves feed the roots. The tree needs the leaves for nourishment. So do you see where I'm going here? Of course you do. Yes, that's exactly right. Like trees, we also have roots and branches and leaves. And our roots are our core beliefs. What is it that we think about ourselves? What is it that we think about people around us, our community, our culture, our country? What we think about our experiences. And the branches are those experiences. So what are the leaves then? Well, the leaves, they are our thoughts. They are the thoughts that we give to ourselves, the thoughts that we share with ourselves in those quiet moments when we're having a conversation with ourselves. And the thoughts are what nourishes our roots or our core beliefs. And so the fundamental question then is, what are the thoughts that we are telling ourselves? What does that internal conversation that goes on in our head, what does that sound like? Are we feeding our roots, feeding ourselves, nourishing thoughts of hope, encouragement, kindness, patience, compassion? Or instead, are our thoughts defeating and perhaps condescending, centered on what we haven't done or what we can't do? Or the big one that I think we've all said to ourselves at some point, which is, we aren't worthy. What could we not be worthy of? A new job, a healthy relationship, love, being loved. It's all too easy to let our thoughts get the best of us. But there's another option. Yes, we can say, well, just don't have those thoughts. Is that easy to do? When you just tell yourself, yeah, just don't do that anymore, what usually happens? Yeah, those voices get louder. So, instead, what if we could use the tree analogy and we could be the branch and we could choose to simply let some leaves fall? We could just release them by not grasping on, not clinging, not attaching to them. We can shed them and we can let them go. Sounds pretty cool. And yeah, you can guess that this is where meditation comes in. Meditation gives us the tools to let go of what doesn't serve us, what doesn't feed our roots and nourish our soul, ourselves. Its very root, pardon the pun, but at its very root, meditation allows us, gives us the ability to change our relationship with our thoughts. We can choose what thoughts not to attach to without judging them, without judging us for even having them. But we can simply let some thoughts go. And we do that by allowing the thought, because as you know in meditation, as we've talked about, meditation is the process of allowing ourselves to realize that we're in thought, that's the noticing, and then gently returning to our anchor, which up to this point, we have practiced the anchor being our breath. And later on, we'll experiment with different anchors. But for now, our anchor, our present moment focus is the breath. So we're noticing and we're returning. We could also say we're thinking and we're releasing. And this is the practice of meditation. And this is why meditation has the power to change our relationship with our thoughts. Because like working out in a gym, the practice of meditation helps us build the strength and the conditioning to control our thoughts and to be in control of our thoughts, as opposed to letting our thoughts control us. And practice, this practice of noticing, returning, thinking, releasing. And what happens is that when we are not meditating and we're just going about our regular day, we then have the skills to apply the same techniques to any situation. To recognize the thought as being discouraging, defeating, and letting it go. Without attaching to the thought, without thinking less of ourselves for having the thought. Simply releasing it. And this, my friends, this is true empowerment. When we are in control of our thoughts, instead of letting our thoughts control us. And so then we can choose what we allow to flourish and in turn nourish. So, with that said, let's practice.